Welcome to a new Daily Top AskReddit video. Today's topic.
Parents in other countries than the US, what is your kid's equivalent of, I don't want that for dinner, I want chicken nuggets. I don't want that for dinner, I want chicken nuggets. Australia, LSN for all, Subnu UUI, UUPO, UUPI. Grew up in the Philippines. My kids reject whatever I cook and just want plain rice with soy sauce. I spent 45 minutes on adobo and they're over there eating sad rice. I watched a Japanese show the other day and the comfort food they mentioned was plain rice, butter, and soy sauce. I tried it and it was so good. Smile. Poutine. My daughter wants it every night if she could lol. Sadly for you, your daughter is not wrong. Here in Mexico, my 7-year-old wants butter on bread, toasted on the stove, or he wants scrambled eggs with butter. I always wanted plain quesadillas or bolillo white chocolate caliente. Mine wants plain quesadillas. What she means is tortilla. She wants a tortilla. When I was helping with a women's shelter in Guatemala, the kids usually wanted tamales, Guatemalan-style banana leaves and a different sauce. But those take forever to make, so their begging was often unheeded too. I've only had good tamales a few times, but I can understand them being one of the ultimate comfort foods. It makes me sad you've only had good tamales a few times. I'm in the US. In a state with a large Latino population, every store I've ever worked at always has some super old Mexican lady that comes through at least a few times a month selling tamales out of her car, and they're always bangers. The salsa makes a huge difference too. There was one lady whose tamales were awesome but her salsa was so good it should be illegal. She must have sold her soul to the devil for the recipe, cause I could drink that shit by the cup. Used to be craft dinner before it became terrible. Let me guess, Canadian. I have to remember to call it mac and cheese when I don't want to out myself. When we lived in Poland, the kids wanted naleśniki and pierogi, especially dessert pierogi, all the time. We let them, sometimes, but put salad or meat on their plates too. If we passed by a McDonald's, they wanted cheeseburgers and fries. We almost never let them have that. If we did, then they'd want it even more. There are dessert pierogi? Strawberry, blueberry, sweet cheese. When I discovered dessert pierogi, my world turned upside down. Japan here, frozen gyoza, or frozen karaage, which is just Japanese chicken nuggets. Or onigiri. Japan here too. My picky eater once said the plain salted onigiri from Lawson was the best thing he'd ever eaten, loudly crying. Nutella or noodles with butter, or just chicken nuggets. German here, Kartoffelpuffer for me, Latkes. A friend made latkes at an event once. They were going like hotcakes. In the UK, it's all about, I want beans on toast. It's like the universal comfort food here, father. Those poor children. Of it, the funniest comments I've ever read was to the question, Brits of Reddit, is your food really that bad? The top comment was, if prepared correctly, yes. That's why they eat beans on toast. Hi, Mexican here. We have a version of beans on toast. It is completely different, of course. Give it a try, at least to prank the kids. https://www.mexicanplease.com/mollets-mexican-bean-cheese-sandwiches/. They can be just beans from a can on top of some toasted bread. Or you can put some work and make them a bit fancier. You can add a fried egg or sausage for breakfast, or some sliced steak. My wife's Chicano grandpa used to make a sandwich that was cold leftover refried beans with a slice of cheddar cheese from a big brick, because sliced cheese is a waste of money, on white bread or a roll. He did not touch her grandma's country crock container full of salsa, for whatever reason, though the rest of the family did, and would serve it at Thanksgiving too. Edit, or on bolillo. The prank is that it'll actually be good. This would vary wildly by cultural heritage and state, but in certain parts of North India the answer is aloo paratha, which is a rich dough stuffed with spiced mashed potato and pan-fried in lots of ghee. Though these days I bet the kids all want pizza. A rich dough stuffed with spiced mashed potato and pan-fried in lots of ghee. That sounds amazing, right? I'm betting we could sell that at the state fair in South Carolina. My mill is Indian and introduced my kids to white rice mixed with plain yogurt as their sick day food. I have no idea if people actually eat this in India, but it's the chicken and nuggets of my house, and they would eat it for every meal if I let them. My Indian kid love curd rice, as we call it. White rice, the broth of cooked beans, grilled chicken or steak, and French fries. That's also what a kid's meal is at most restaurants. My bet is Brazil. Ding ding ding. When I was young it was always rice pilaf with yogurt on the side. Kids would also love a piece of bread with tomato paste on it. That was in Turkey. I've never seen little kids absolutely attack hummus and bread like Turkish and Lebanese kids, lol. My little American child has been a hummus fiend since we introduced her to the good stuff from a Lebanese restaurant. She will throw down on some kebab and rice with pitta and hummus, do not forget toom. And she will fight you for lentil soup. She has an insider deal with a gyro guy now who does her favorite shawarma, always with extra garlic sauce for her fries. Growing up in a Chinese household, this was like asking for teng tiao wen zhu cruisin' for a bruisin', in common England English parlance. Cuisine for a bruisin', that's the HK variant, tang tiu man jyu yuck. Literally means, rattan sticks, braised pork. Braised pork in this case being a metaphor for beating the butt, pork butt, or back of the legs with a rattan cane. I find the breadth and depth of Canto slang to be fascinating, particularly how much of it is related to food or drinks. In Taiwan, the equivalent is zhu sun chao ro si, bamboo shoots, stir-fried pork. In PRC there are various sayings. Zhu sun chao ro is the most common expression, but in Shanghai it's called zhu sun kao ro, and in Sichuan, sun zi chao ro. In Changsha, Hunan, tiaro shua zi chao ro, strip brush, or jimoro dan zi chao ro, feather duster, is used. And in Spore it's chi teng tiaro. I wonder how people on the mainland, in HK or Taiwan say, hurt people, break the cycle. Your last point. Not enough if my wife's client list as a psychologist is anything to go by. So much trauma. Like, absolutely unbelievable. Love the alternatives. Wife is from the north but she's so bad at idioms it's hilarious. I don't want that for dinner, I want French fries and chicken nuggets. Pakistan. Yeah, I feel like people underestimate American cultural hegemony amongst non-American kids. Most places it's breaded chicken and fries with ketchup. Grew up in Mexico, always asked for a quesadilla and chocolate milk. Pasta with tomato sauce and parmesan. We asked for elbow macaroni with butter and tomato soup poured on top. It was considered Depression-era food, and my mother cooked it when we were broke. Loved and asked all the time. As an adult, I still make it as comfort food. I just recently didn't have any pasta sauce and added some leftover tomato soup to pasta instead and discovered how good this is in a pinch, rolling on the floor laughing. The Panera tomato soup is especially yummy and I've been using it intentionally recently, lol. Here I'm Argentina is usually Milanesa, so like one big chicken nugget. A flattened steak nugget. My kids are half Uruguayo and they always ask their abuela for Milanesas when they go visit her. My mom is Argentine and we'd go crazy for her to make Milanesa with mashed potatoes, empanadas. When visiting grandparents over there, for breakfast, medialunas, criolitos. My grandparents would load luggage up with alfajors when coming to visit us. Indian household, Maggi noodles. I grew up in New Mexico, and when I was a kid, a bean and cheese burrito was what every kid wanted all the time. And now as an adult, I will still take a good bean and cheese burrito over almost anything else. It never even occurred to me to ask for something else. It was eat what you get or don't eat. Sounds like you're not hungry. Quote, I had plenty I didn't like, but I never considered asking for anything else. It just wasn't an option. Same here. I don't remember having anything I didn't like. My mom is a pretty good cook, and somehow she got me to eat veg. I liked all the ones kids hate, especially broccoli. Our food was pretty basic though, meat and potatoes and veg. I did have to clean my plate though, and I still struggle a little with leaving G food when I'm full. My mom was a solidly average cook and I still would never ask for anything else. When I was a picky little kid growing up in China, tomato and eggs over rice was my default meal when my mom or grandma doesn't feel like fighting me to eat something different. Basically scrambled eggs cooked with tomatoes until saucy. I used to eat that all the time in China. It mixes so well with rice, delicious on its own, and makes all the other food taste better. Vegemite toast woman facepalming. No wonder they banished you to a different hemisphere. What a fun question op. Fish and chips or mince and cheese pies are what my kid would eat every night if he could. To be fair, mince and cheese pies are really tasty. Kiwi diet of champions. I want to say NZ. Yeah, kiwi is haha. My husband is North Indian and he said Maggi and yellow dal. I love Maggi. I would just put some in my palm and lick it up. I had to stop buying it, adding, the Maggi I am referring to is a soy sauce-like seasoning. After reading lots of comments, someone that knows how to write books needs to make a cookbook filled with everyone's go-to kids meal. Because all of these sound delicious. For example, we're trying to introduce our kids to a variety of dishes from all over the world, usually with unique spices, flavor profiles, and a lot of times our kids complain about what's offered and ask for chicken nuggets or mac and cheese and such. Does your country have a unique equivalent of this? Do kids in India only want to eat dal? Do kids in the Levant only want falafel? Etc. There's an old joke about exposing your kids to international cuisines, so they've eaten chicken tenders in an Indian restaurant, a Japanese restaurant, a German restaurant. So this is chicken tempura, huh? It's pretty good. Hank Hill. Kids in India, chicken wings, curd rice, instant noodles, a brand called Maggi, the ever-popular ice cream. Pasta is a common one, but Indian-style cooked pasta or Indo-Chinese hakka noodles is another one. In Singapore my kids wanted chicken rice, steamed chicken with rice cooked in broth, with cilantro and sesame oil, and ginger chili sauce, or sardines, rice and ketchup, chili sauce, like mildly spicy ketchup. They also liked satay with the compressed rice cakes it comes with. Cocoa rice. Hubs is Samoan, so we've always got cocoa in the house. Is cocoa a variety of rice, or a style of cooking it? It's like a chocolate rice. I too always want cocoa rice smiling face.